a major development in the Red Fort blast investigation. Now, the State Investigation Agency has made another arrest in Jammu and Kashmir. Officials say that the SIA has now taken into custody Tufail Niyaz Bhat, a resident of Battmaaloo, Srinagar. Now, he was detained earlier after investigators found crucial leads linking him to the November 10th Red Fort explosion in New Delhi. Sources say that the arrest is now part of the widening investigation into the terror network which was behind the blast which killed the bomber and injured several others. Now, at this point, Tufail is being questioned by the SIA as it tries to piece together the larger conspiracy of this terror module that's now been busted. So, crucial development, another arrest made from Jammu and Kashmir by the SIA. This time, Tufail Niyaz Bhat has been taken into custody. At this point, he is now being questioned by the state investigative agencies to understand what was his role in the Red Fort blast and what role did he play in the larger terror conspiracy that's now been busted by the NIA. Now, remember, he was detained earlier after investigators found crucial leads which linked him to the November 10th Red Fort blast. Sources say that this arrest is in fact part of the widening probe into the terror network which was behind the blast. Remember, the blast killed several precious lives and injured others as well. And it took place right in the heart of the capital city of India. And now, in politically sensitive move that has sparked protests in Punjab, Centre has now proposed to include Chandigarh under the ambit of Article 240 of the Constitution. This is by tabling the 131st Amendment Bill in the winter session of the Parliament. Now, this bill will allow the President to appoint a separate Lieutenant Governor for the Union Territory. Remember, right now, Chandigarh is administered by the Punjab Governor. So, from the ruling party, Aam Aadmi Party to Congress to Shiromani Akali Dal, all have raised concerns over the proposed bill. At this point, the move is likely to weaken Punjab's claim over the capital city. Let's listen in as to what the reactions are coming in on this.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੀਜੇਪੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ 131ਵੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਧ ਲਿਆਂਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਯੂਟੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਮੀਨਸ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਖੋਹ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਇੱਕ ਆਮ ਆਦਮੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਭਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਧਾਨ ਸਭਾ ਦਾ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਆ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੈਜ਼ੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਸਖਤ ਤੋਂ ਸਖਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਲਈ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਆ। ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ, ਇਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਆਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਸੱਦੋ, ਇੱਕ ਏਜੰਡੇ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਇਹ ਤੈਅ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਠੋ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਧਰਨਾ ਲਾਈਏ, ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਧੱਕਾ ਆ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਰੋਕੀਏ। ਔਰ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਨਸ਼ਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ, ਚਾਹੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਵੇ।
All right, so that's the latest we're getting in on this bill. In fact, Centre will introduce the Constitution 131st Amendment Bill 2025 in the upcoming winter session of the Parliament, which begins on December 1st. Now, senior Congress leader and the leader of opposition, Partap Singh Bajwa, has also issued a call for unity across party lines. Meanwhile, Shiromani Akali Dal President Sukhbir Singh Badal has also appealed to the union government not to introduce this bill, calling it a betrayal of the goodwill placed in the centre by Punjabis. That's the latest reaction coming in from across different political parties of Punjab, who are now raising their concerns over this proposed bill. In fact, remember, it aims to put Chandigarh under the ambit of Article 240 of the Indian Constitution by tabling the 131st Amendment Bill in the winter session of the Parliament. Now, this bill will essentially allow President to appoint a separate Lieutenant Governor for the Union Territory. Currently, the Chandigarh is administered by Punjab Governor. So certainly political parties from Punjab, right from Aam Aadmi Party to Congress to Shiromani Akali Dal, all have been raising concerns over this proposed bill. Remember, it is likely to weaken Punjab's claim over the capital city. Centre is likely to introduce this bill in the upcoming winter session, which begins on December 1st. And at this point, we are getting reactions from political parties. Senior Congress leader and leader of opposition, Partap Singh Bajwa, has now issued a call for unity across party lines, as well as other leaders, including Shiromani Akali Dal president, has also appealed to the union government not to introduce the bill. And now on to national capital air quality. In Delhi-NCR continues to worsen, with several parts of the region now slipping deeper into very poor and severe categories. Now fresh AQI readings show a sharp spike in pollution levels. Let me walk you through the numbers we're getting this morning. Narela stands at 415, Mundka at about 417, Rohini stands at 438, Anand Vihar at 427. So all of these areas are in severe category. Meanwhile, other areas including Chandni Chowk stands at 394 and ITO at about 384. So you can see how the range is just between very poor and the severe category. In fact, in the NCR, Ghaziabad has now plunged to 464, basically entering the severe category. And amid this alarming rise, the Commission for Air Quality Management has now announced some major changes, making the GRAP rules more stringent and advancing several curbs to the earlier stages. Let me walk you through what are the changes that have now been introduced. Under the revised framework, many stage 2 measures such as uninterrupted power supply to prevent diesel generator use, additional traffic marshals, pollution alerts, as well as expanded CNG and EV public transport, they will now be implemented at stage 1 itself. Further, some stage 3 actions, including changes in government office timings, have now been moved to stage 2. And in fact, a key stage 4 provision, which is basically allowing 50% staff in government and private offices to work from home, has now been shifted to stage 3. The CAQM has clarified that stages 1, 2 and 3 are already in force, and all departments must immediately implement the stringent measures as Delhi-NCR battles one of the worst pollution phases of the season.
So actually, it's not just 400 plus, as in, what the readings that you're actually referring to is the government readings. Reality is that air quality, readings or AQI is worse than 400 or 450 or 430 that we are talking about. And imagine from Mundka to Bhavana, these are the hotspots that we're talking about, which are worse than the normal areas where you live or I live or anyone else lives in that sense. And therefore, right now, we don't even know how polluted the air is. The AQI, largely, if you look at the private monitors, it's actually showing 700, 800. In fact, if you go to Twitter and look at private monitors reporting the air quality condition of Delhi-NCR, it's actually 1,000 almost, as in we all are living almost in a situation which looks like a biological warfare. Will the situation improve? No, it won't. It's only going to get worse because of the geographical reasons, meteorological reasons, in terms of the wind speed and the dip in temperature. Every day we also get that report with regard to how there's a dip in the temperature and the wind speed, and therefore the local pollutants are going to stay close to the ground and stay close to Delhi, and
the source of the pollution is definitely one of the reasons. But at the same time, you see that first of all, we look into the thing which are not a cosmetic thing. The thing is that our health of the vegetation. So if you see in the summer, always we cry that water level is going down. So not only we are the victim, but the vegetation which cannot speak. the plants which cannot speak, they are also deteriorating their health. And first of all, we need to have a proper rainwater harvesting system across the NCR region. I'm not talking about the only Delhi, across the NCR region, because the buildings which are coming up and they are high-rise buildings. So whatever the polluted water, polluted air, which is due to our anthropogenic activities, which is within the national capital region, when it cannot get the space to go out of it, because the wind velocity and wind temperature, all these things are definitely a factor. But if the vegetation which we are having sufficient vegetation in Delhi and NCR region, except a few patches in the Haryana and other places. But the thing is that those vegetation health is not good enough that they can absorb these pollutants.
When you go out, you feel suffocated. This is the opinion of most of the people. And I think the AQI is definitely high. And this time, the visibility is very poor. And this time of the year, you have a lot of cold. This time, the cold is not setting in. I mean, it's still very warm. This is all because of the effect of the pollutions. And talking about the effect on the children, the lung develops in a child from neonate to 6 years, when the majority of lung develops, and they are getting exposed to this kind of the environment. The AQI is very poor. The development is going to go down, and their lung functions when they grow up will be much less. The lung keeps on growing till teens, and in males, it goes till 20 years. So when they are exposed to this kind of pollutions, they have seen that the FeV1 or FVC, forced vital capacity, which we call, they have seen it is less in the people who are exposed to this kind of the air pollution. And the effect is because of the PM10 and nitrogen dioxide and the ozone. These are the PM 2.5. These are the one which have the maximum impact on the lung.
This is not the first time the pollution aspect. I was dealing it for many years, almost 3 decades. So what I found that pollution sources are remain same, but we are not taking action or we are not implementing properly. Even government agencies are air quality commission is not or CPCB is not taking drastic steps to control the pollution. When I was there, I made a control room, and I was dealing with 20 people, and all over the Delhi I was monitoring it. So monitoring and implementation is not proper. And we have the line sources, we have the area sources, we have the some other kind of sources are there. So these kind of sources basically we need to control at the source, because this is just not it is a cocktail of poisons.
Okay.
Like SO2, NO2, even carbon monoxide, even carbon dioxide, even many pollutants are there, even organic compounds are there, even secondary aerosol or formation is there. So we are not basically dealing the secondary aerosol. That means even gaseous, when gaseous are coming out, gaseous pollution is coming out, along with the water droplets, they form the secondary aerosol. So this secondary aerosol is very harmful. I think doctors will also agree with me, because this go up to the alveoli, and this create the respiratory problem.